This man finds a cursed finger that turns into a Meet Clark, a lonely wanderer who likes to collect unwanted goods he finds on the street, which is a nice way of saying trash. Like this lock, for instance. It once had value and a purpose. It is now useless.
Kind of like me if you want to get right down to it.
That hits hard, Clark. That same night, he finds a little fingy. Upon returning home, he wonders if life is metaphorically giving him the finger. By all means, the man upstairs has done him dirty. Clark is a loser. His wife and her kids left him 3 years ago. He's straddled with debt, and he's a web developer.
Which is a cute way of saying I'm mostly unemployed.
Anyway, he gets to Googling about animal fingers, trying to figure out what exactly he found. Armadillo? No. Raccoon? No. Listen, man, I think someone just accidentally got a fried chicken finger in their Happy Meal. Suddenly, Clark rushes to clean his mess before he notices the finger absorbs all the liquid he spilled on it.
That's noteworthy.
Now that the finger's marinated in a succulent sauce, Clark decides to store it in the fridge for later. As he closes the door, it's those damn debt collectors again. Don't you just wish you could make them suffer the way you suffer? Clark hops on his couch and stews in more negativity, reminiscing about his old family. Eventually, his wife Samantha needed something more than just a man who could reach something off a high shelf. And don't get him started on her idiot son, who tried to steal his car. Last but not least, there's her daughter, who tried to give him a favor to keep quiet about her boyfriend being a felon. I mean, that one's not so bad, Clark. You could have definitely taken one for the team there. The next day, during a
donkey work
call, Clark inspects the fridge and finds Mr. Fingy is missing. Panicked, he looks around before finding that his new friend has grown into 2 fingies. He carefully tiptoes towards it before crouching down. He reaches out slowly as the tension mounts. They're holding hands. Within just 24 hours, Clark had himself a whole ass arm.
What would an adult do?
He moves it over to the freezer and padlocks it before wondering if he should contact a mad scientist. Or perhaps a museum. Nah, I'll just keep it for a little bit longer. 3 days later, after whatever he's doing here, Clark rushes to the freezer and finds the lock has been broken. Nothing is inside. He turns around to find the window has been smashed and reflects on the fact that this is the first time an item he has saved has abandoned him. Later at night, a startled Clark springs into action, grabbing his blicky and...
I got a big gun here!
Okay. Realizing the sound is coming from the freezer, he slowly steps towards it. What the... Oh my god, it's a dog. Adorable. Oh, and he's clutching some hair that looks awfully human. Clark looks down to find a bloody trail. Upon following it, he notes,
That's a heart.
I consider that to be a gesture of love. Surprise, it's the police. Sir, we're investigating a disturbance about Samantha. She was your ex-wife, right? Was? Clark rudely slams the door on their faces to talk straight to the audience. Yeah, this goes on for about 20 minutes, but thank God they didn't have a search warrant. Clark opens the door and turns on the waterworks.
Oh, dear God.
One of the policemen inquire if he needs help calling anyone to break the news.
She didn't even have any contacts. That's how much everyone hated her.
Ha, nice. Moving on, the police leave and Clark gets to Googling how to dispose of a... Suddenly, a little PlayStation 1 graphic boy scurries off. Hearing the disturbance, Clark's breathing goes heavy before he pivots his monitor to catch the reflection of the creature. Oh my. Clark falls to the ground as the creature runs over at top speed. But then, he's friendly.
Hi.
Do you want to go outside? Nah, I'm good. Clark proceeds to snap a pic for the gram, then christens the creature
Bob?
Bob is thrilled to be named Bob. Wholesome. Clark cleans up his mess and lightly scolds him.
Now let's not go tearing anyone else's heart out tonight.
All cleaned up, Bob skitters off back to bed. Yep, his bed is the freezer. He's doing a little purr. The next day, we learn that Bob loves watching soap operas, and he can't get enough of popcorn. Same. That's how he maintains his svelte figure, a diet of pure butter, salt, and, well, let's not forget about the human hearts. Suddenly, that dang debt collector lady is up to no good again. Bob notices how upset Clark is, and Clark assures him his rage was not directed towards Bob. They hold hands once more. A few days later, Clark is on one of his walks when he finds some cash. Hell yeah, The two gentlemen commence with a bit of road rage before the trucker trucks off with his truck balls. Nice. At night, Clark happily shares that Bob went out last night and fetched the man's truck balls, and his actual ones, which are now going down the drain. But it's not all good news. Bob has gone missing. You ever lose a child or a pet? It's a lot like that. Bob! Bob, come back! Fortunately, one night Clark spots a severed human tongue on the counter, marking Bob's delightful return. He rushes to check up on him. Aw, I love him so much. So, you won't believe this, but that tongue belongs to the debt collector that's been hounding Clark. Somehow, our beloved little critter found her and... Perhaps he flew all the way to Texas, or Florida, or wherever the hell that call center was. That's dedication. Uh-oh, the Popo is back. And this time, they're here about Samantha's kids. Yep, they've gone missing too. Sir, what is that on your shirt? Oh, this?
Bolognese.
Smooth. Now, about those kids, well, Bob had another excursion. Upon inspection, Carl stumbles upon their severed heads. If I take these all the way across town and dump them in the ocean, you're just gonna bring them right back, aren't you, little guy? Aww. Clark gets to work cleaning up when the Popo pull up for the last time. We cut to Clark in an insane asylum where he likely belongs. He explains to us that he didn't do any of those things. It was Bob, and he did it because he loved him, and he'll be back. One day, I'll hear him by the window. Moral of the story? Just, get a cat, man. Okay, guys, good night. I'm going to sleep.